More trouble in the Labour Party as the NEC meeting held in Adamawa. The Delta State yesterday sanctioned the suspension of Mr. Apapa and 5 others from the party, but Mr. Apapa and his other friends are now kicking. And in Imo State, the issue of zoning has come up, and elders council in the state are speaking on the matter as the governorship election slated for November this year is now at hand and the controversy begins. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimaloe in Abuja. Let's begin the program tonight by letting you know what really happened today at the INEC office, where the supplementary elections, those who have succeeded in that election have now been giving the certificate of return. INEC did that today to the winners for the National Assembly elections. And of course, the governor of Adamawa State and his running mate have equally been given their certificate of return. Meanwhile, the president-elect, Senator Bola Tinubu, has been reacting to the outcome of the Adamawa governorship election, and is asking today in a statement that those who are now concluded and are being elected should come together for him to work with them. Mr. Tinubu today in a statement said, quote, "It's now time to work together to ensure Nigeria works." And part of the statement reads, "I note the matter of Adamawa supplementary governorship election, and I urge police authorities to fully investigate all that transpired in the election, given the attendant controversy. In every democratic contest where there has to be a winner, one winner, I call on those aggrieved to pursue legitimate means of addressing their grievances." He went further to say, with the conclusion of the 2023 elections, and I welcome all of us who have been elected to brace up to serve our people with diligence and dedication, and to join hands with me as your president-elect in the pursuit of our agenda to renew the hopes of our people in a better, stronger, more secure, economically vibrant and prosperous Nigeria. End of quote. Those are the words of Bola Tinubu in a statement released today. And the federal government has equally been speaking about the Adamawa governorship election. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, spoke to journalists after today's Federal Executive Council meeting. Take a listen to the view of the Minister of Information and why there hasn't really been any response or comment from the President on the matter.
I said Mr. Peter Obi has every right to seek redress in court, like Labour Party, but nobody has a right to call for insurrection or to threaten to say that if the president-elect is sworn in, that will be the end of democracy. I don't think this government has ever intervened in the way the independent National Electoral Commission conducts its elections. So there was no need for us to intervene. It was entirely an INEC matter, and INEC handled it. Now, in respect of the chairman of REC, the chairman of INEC is in charge of all employees of INEC and is handling it. So what do you want the government to do?
The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, at the end of the FEC meeting today. Well, tonight we'll talk about the crisis in the Labour Party and how the different factions, if you like to call them that. You heard what Mr. Peter Obi said yesterday after the NEC meeting that held in Asaba, where Mr. Lamidi Apapa, the acting national chairman of the Labour Party, has been suspended alongside 5 others. But tonight we'll be hearing all the sides in this matter, because those who are suspended said that suspension cannot hold water. In fact, they said it is illegal. That NEC meeting is invalid. Those are some of how they've described the words they use in describing what has happened. So we hear from the two sides tonight. But also, we'll be speaking with an elder statesman about the Imo politics, the issue of zoning. I mean, we talk about national politics and zoning. Election will hold in November in Imo State, and the issue of zoning has come up again. But don't forget also that in the aftermath of the death of the leader of the Ohanese, the Igbo social-cultural political group, there needs to be another leader. I mean, the Imo Elders Council are already proposing the next person that should lead that organization. You'll be hearing all of those tonight on the program, so stick around with me, everyone, because first and foremost, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
Good evening. I am Kayla Megwa, and these are your political roundup stories for today. The governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, and his running mate in the Adamawa governorship election, Professor Kaleta Pwafarauta, have received their certificates of return today in Abuja. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, presented the certificates to the newly re-elected governor and his deputy this evening at its national headquarters. Mr. Fintiri was declared winner of the exercise yesterday. Meanwhile, senators-elect and House of Representative members-elect, whose elections were conducted in the last Saturday supplementary election, have received their certificates of return at the INEC headquarters today in Abuja. The All Progressives Congress candidate in the governorship poll and the April 15 supplementary election in Adamawa State, Senator Aisha Binani Dahiru, has denied bribing or inducing any official for results to manipulate the outcome of the process. Senator Binani says she won't do anything to subvert the democratic process. The APC candidate in a statement said she's a Democrat and not a do-or-die politician. Binani described as bizarre the allegations that she gave out 2 billion naira to some unnamed staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, including embattled resident electoral commissioner Hudu Yunusa Ari, to procure a favorable declaration as governor-elect for Adamawa State. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is asking the political elite to tackle prejudices emanating from ethnic and religious biases in a diverse democracy like Nigeria. The Vice President was addressing Senior Executive Course 45 at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru, Plateau State, at the Maiden Policy Making and Good Governance in Nigeria lecture series.
Can we truly conquer ethnic prejudices, religious prejudices, and build a unified nation? I think we can. But it's a journey, it's not an event.
The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee, which is investigating the alleged loss of $24 billion from legal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil, is threatening to summon the Attorney General, Minister of Finance, and the CBN Governor over inflows from recoveries from whistleblowers and expenditures. The committee chairman, Honorable Mark Bila, stated this after the invited parties failed to honor the invitation of the committee from last week.
In the event that they fail to do so, we will be constrained to proceed to summons and other statutory powers that the committee and the National Assembly can exercise in this regard.
A coalition of civil society organizations is asking the Independent National Electoral Commission to cancel the results of the last governorship election in Enugu Nkanu East Local Government Council and conduct a supplementary election. The spokesperson for the coalition, Mr. Ken Asogwa, told a press conference in Abuja that the election, which took place on the 18th of March, was characterized with irregularities and called on the commission to recheck the results that was formally announced by the commission.
INEC curiously rushed to return a winner without conducting supplementary election as they did in Adamawa State.
As Nigerians await the inauguration of a new administration on the 29th of May 2023, the Nigeria Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Council are calling for the zoning of the Senate presidency to the South-South geopolitical zone. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the President General of the Council, Comrade Terry Obey, says in the interest of fairness and equity, the South-South zone deserves the office of the Senate President in the 10th National Assembly. Ahead of the swearing-in of the President-elect, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his deputy, Senator Kashim Shettima, on May the 29th, a group, the Christian Northern Nigeria Political Forum, want the incoming administration to quickly address the lingering insecurity, unemployment, nepotism, and corruption that has held the country backwards over the years. The group is also urging the incoming Tinubu administration to respect the federal character principle as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution and give equal attention and appointments to all Nigerians with no ethnic, gender, or religious bias. And those are your political roundup stories for today.
Thank you so much, everyone. There you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories. Let's get into our very first story tonight. So in Owerri today, the Imo State capital, the Imo State Council of Elders are asking politicians in Imo State to adopt the Imo Charter of Equity that proposes equitable and smooth rotation of power and key political offices among the 3 senatorial zones in Imo State. These are Okigwe, Olu, and Owerri. The members of the Imo State Council of Elders met with Governor Hope Uzodinma at the government house in Owerri and the Imo State capital. The elders also said that they have proposing the adoption of the Charter of Equity, which they hope that will help to ensure equity and douse political tension and sustain peace in the state.
I consider the highlight of this visit a historic one that is set to redefine the political landscape of our dear state for good. I listened to your presentation very attentively, and I'm convinced that the Imo Charter of Equity, as masterfully outlined in that document that you have just presented, will serve the good of all Imo people if it is tenaciously applied. The Imo Charter of Equity will help to ensure equity. It will also douse the political tension in Imo State, sustain peace that will even go beyond our generation.
That is the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. Already political elites and politicians, and of course some elders in the state are already talking about zoning, power rotation. You remember what the conversation we were having from Kogi State and how this has caused some kind of political tension in that state. But now attention is to Imo State. Now, one of the other agenda at that meeting was who should be the next leader of Ohaneze in Igbo, the Igbo socio-political organization, which is like a very major force in the southeast region of the country. Tonight, let's speak with an elder statesman and one of the elders at that meeting today, Chief Emmanuel. He joins us live from Owerri, Imo State capital. Thank you so much, Chief Emmanuel, for joining us tonight. Before we get into the agenda of the meetings that you had today and some of the recommendations that were presented for the political elite in Imo State, there was something that caused some kind of furore the last time you were in Anambra State. And we saw some responses, and one was not quite sure what your intentions really were about what you said about the Yoruba people. But now that you're speaking on the national television, you have the opportunity to be able to clear the air and say exactly what you meant and your statement, exactly what your intentions and what you meant to say.
Well, Shehu, thank you very much. I want first of all to say I'm very happy and grateful to you for this wonderful opportunity. Please convey my deep appreciation to your chairman, the managing director, and all your staff. I am a regular student of Channel Television. It's like a university where we learn a lot of things every day. You have done so much. Without people like you, like AIT, like Arise, I don't know what will happen to our democracy. I am very proud of Channel Television. Your staff is very sound. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
now,
Chief. We appreciate it.
Yes, you mentioned my statement at Oka. At Oka, I was invited to chairman the ceremony. And of course, I made a statement. What I said, that at that particular point, there was a lot of trouble. I'm the chairman of Council of Elders of Ohaneze and Igbo. I had a lot of people from all over the world expressing concern about the way the hostilities against the Igbos in Nigeria. If you remember, Shehu, we have suffered in 1966 and 1967. In 1966, military men carried out a coup. They didn't involve, Igbos were not involved. Now, that coup resulted in a mass slaughter of Igbos, a program against Igbos. And people alleged that Igbos carried out the coup. And eventually there was civil war. The outcome is very clear to Nigerians. So we suffered a lot. The truth is that even that coup did not succeed. It was stopped by General Aguiyi-Ironsi, who is an Igbo man. At that time, Ironsi was the person, the boss, the head of Nigerian army. He used his position to stop the coup. He stopped the coup and then told the politicians who were literally worried and then frightened. The politicians willingly handed over powers to Ironsi. Ironsi was not part of the coup, as is very wrongly mentioned in some places. Many people told some children in some parts of this country are told by their parents that the coup was planned by Igbos or by Ironsi or by... It is not true. Ironsi was a good soldier who defended democracy. He defended the democracy. He stopped the coups from succeeding. But what happened at last? Ironsi was killed. And the Igbos were forced to go into a civil war. By 1970, when the war ended, no victor, no vanquished, we had the richest Igbo man had 20 pounds. Our people worked very hard, moved to all parts of Nigeria, and we are very grateful to those Nigerians. Many Nigerians supported us. Many Nigerians came to us and supported us, and Igbos, within that period, have started building businesses all over the country. I can tell you, in 36 states of Nigeria and Abuja, I think Igbos, after the indigenous, Igbos are probably the largest number of people with investments, with businesses. We live peacefully. We don't appropriate people's land. If we want people's land, we negotiate and buy. We pay taxes. We tell our people live peacefully, and they prosper. When they do what they prosper. And then when they prosper, people start feeling bad about them. People who had 20 pounds then today have become prosperous. Now, Lagos, for example. Lagos, our relationship with Lagos started before 1914, when Nigeria was amalgamated. Right from the time it was colony of Lagos, Igbos were in Lagos. Then, of course, when Nigeria amalgamated, and after independence, we had a constitution which showed that every Nigerian can move to any part of the country, live in that country, that part, in happiness and peace, and do business. And Igbos went in obedience to in obedience to our constitution. Went to Lagos. When we went to Lagos, they didn't take anybody's land. They didn't forcefully acquire any property. They bought land. They built in those places. They developed them. And of course, even Igbos who buy land in America or buy land in London, nobody can tell them to pack away, that the land is not their own any longer. But we are shocked to hear that even in Lagos here, our country, people are hostile to Igbos. People on election day were beating Igbos. The truth is that the phenomenon of P2B, Igbos actually didn't bring up P2B for the election. Igbos P2B actually came out, and Igbos were told that this time is their turn, that this presidency is zoned to Southeast. So Igbos believe it's their turn, because when you look at the past president of the country, since 1999, Igbos are the only major tribe that have not had any opportunity. And don't forget that we, Nnamdi Azikiwe, proud champions substantially the freedom we have. If you look at all the British colonies, Ghana, anywhere, Uganda, all the places, Nigeria is the only country where the man who was at the forefront of independence didn't become the head of state. But you see, in the character of Igbo, Zik said that all he wanted was for Nigeria to have independence. It doesn't matter who was the president. And in 1960, we had independence. We are very happy.
I mean,
that government was very good.
Yeah. I mean, Chief Emmanuel, a lot of us who are students of history might not easily forget those things that have happened, and perhaps painfully, when these rhetorics of religion and ethnic politics begin to rear its ugly head. It's very painful. But then elections are over. What would you suggest now? Because those who are saying reconciliation and healing, because this is really not the major target of our conversation tonight. But quickly, if you may touch on the fact that how do we achieve reconciliation and healing since the elections are over?
Now, it is very easy. It depends on the state of mind of the leader. Everything depends on leadership. Take, for example, what happened in Lagos. When I spoke in Oka, I didn't say Yorubas are political bastards. I never said it. I made it clear. I spoke, the channel was there, Arise was there, I think AIS was there. I made it clear. I was telling our people because they were very worried about their investment in Lagos. Most of them were thinking of leaving Lagos. Most of them are fearing that they will be killed. Even some of them said their children are afraid to go to school because they are being threatened by Igbos. They even say that non-Igbos are being... So I, as a leader, that was the problem I have. I told our people that, look, I have been in touch with many Yorubas. I am very close to Yorubas. Even in my business, my business, I have a Yoruba director who works in my company. And I have very close, I told them, I have a lot of relationships with them. Even my own daughter, one of my best daughters, is married there. I have 4 children there. So I told them not to worry, that we have no problem with Yorubas at all. But that those who are causing all this are political rascals. I didn't say Yorubas. I am shocked sharing that a man, a Nigerian, will go and cut off my statement and join where I said the Yorubas are not at war with us. He cut off that, said Yorubas are, then he joined political rascals. If you read what they circulated all over the world, they said I didn't say that. I didn't say Yorubas are political rascals. I said that those who are beating them up, they shouldn't bother. They should stay in Lagos. They are political rascals. If anybody can go to this is very bad. So if you're a political leader, you must avoid this situation. For example, even the government. So what I'm saying is that thing was fake. I didn't say that. Somebody went and joined a speech. I don't know how they do it. I'm grateful to one senator, the senator from Kaduna State. He was the first person who brought up this matter in his statement. He says that if you listen to the speech after Yorubas you will see some sound. That means they get the speech somewhere.
Chief. Let me come to what happened today quickly in Owerri. It does look like the idea of zoning is already crapped his head also in the politics of Imo State. Where did you guys agree? And when I say guys, I mean the elders and the political elite. It does look like you now have a document, a manner in which you want the people of Imo State to go in power rotation. Where do you think the people of Imo State should look for or to next?
Now, you see, zoning as we are in Imo. Imo believe in zoning, not only at state level, but at national level. Even in our culture as Igbos, Igbos are Republicans, but in our culture, even in the village, we like to do things by zoning. We don't want a situation where one group grab everything. We want things to be done by zoning so that everybody will have a sense of belonging, will feel happy. And it's our culture. So this zoning is not new. It started back, in fact, I started then I was in politics. I have resigned from politics. I'm no more in politics. As I started this zoning in 1990, and it was that zoning that brought the first governor in 1993 to power. Then it was the same zoning that brought the second governor in 1999 to power. But along the line, many politicians then, destroyed it. So what happened last week is a very important thing that can bring stability. Because you see, zoning will bring stability. It will create a sense of belonging so that every part of Imo State, we have 3 zones, so that no one zone will take advantage and then take up the so
in the scheme of things now, Chief Emmanuel, in the scheme of things now, Okigwe, Olu, and Owerri, those are the 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did you propose that the power should go next?
No, the power already, Olu is the governor is from Olu, and then it's 2 terms to every group. And Olu has benefited so much. So it was the job of everybody, since Olu has already spent 4 years. If Olu cannot complete the 4 years, then it means the next group can come. Owerri is the zone that has actually not done much. Owerri was the first zone that got the governorship in 1993 when Chief Emmanuel was elected. That government was removed by Senator Abacha. So eventually, in 1999, because of the voting principle, we moved it to Olu zone. So Olu zone produced the governor in 1999. And somebody from Olatiku then was spent 2 terms, 8 years. Then after that, then we moved it to Okigwe. Okigwe or Hakim became governor and spent 4 years. Now, Rochas Okrocha then took over after Hakim has spent 4 years. Then Olu again spent under Rochas Okrocha, they spent 8 years. Now, after Rochas Okrocha, then Owerri, Meka came into the office, but his tenure was short-lived. Then he spent only about 6 months or about 6 months thereabout. And then Goku Zadema came. Goku Zadema had been there now for about 3 years. So he'll be completing his first tenure by November. And it is the belief of everybody that there is no need giving it to all, since Olu has spent 4 years, and they have already done it in the past. So the best thing now is let them do only 4 years and hand over to Owerri zone. Owerri is a zone that has not actually done much. Owerri zone is the zone that has done only 1 year under Warren, and then under Emeka has a case about 6 months. So in effect, Owerri zone is a zone that.
So basically, So I mean, so let me quickly jump in, and perhaps let's wrap up quickly on this note. You are also being suggested to be the next President General of Ohanese. Have you accepted? And how? I mean, what are you thinking about this? Just in about 30 seconds, if you may intervene on this.
Well, the truth about it, the point, at first I rejected it. My wife rejected it, my daughter, my daughter rejected it, and all my children. But you see, I had a pressure from all Igbos. This is the first time I have seen Igbos, not struggling over. Everybody was begging me. To me, I was humbled by the way Igbos appealed to me. Igbos have never appealed to anybody in the opposition because Igbos people know them to struggle opposition. But for the first time, every leader, all the various groups, both in Nigeria and abroad, they appeal to me, so I changed my mind. I have accepted now to take up the position, and then of course, and I'm praying God Almighty to be with me.
All right.
So today, the Imo people have unanimously accepted me, and today they presented me to the governor of Imo State. Ohaneze is going to summon Imo B meeting. At the Imo B meeting, the final decision will be taken, and after that, then I'll take up the job. But for me, I'm the chairman of Council of Elders, so it's not a new thing, not a new term for me.
All right.
I'm already as and Igbos too have been very. They appreciate all my services. I have served Igbos in times of war and in times of peace.
Chief Emmanuel,
and in fact, I am the only person who have been honored by the whole 7 states in Igbo land. 7 states in Igbo land and gave me a traditional title, which is which is the title for Igbos. They made it clear that even if I die, the title will not go to my children. It will go to whoever Igbos decide, to give me. So I think I feel very grateful to Igbos. Just like Nigeria.
Yeah. I must sincerely thank you. Yeah, so we are out of time, but I must sincerely thank you. I want to wish you well. I want to wish the people of Imo State well, and the entire Igbo people in this country and abroad. I want to wish them well, and wherever they may be watching tonight. Thank you so much indeed, and it's good to see you, Chief Emmanuel Unwayawu, one of the leaders of the Imo Elders Council, and of course, a leader of the Igbo, one of the leaders of Igbo land in Nigeria. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll take a break, everyone, and when we come back, our attention will be on the Labour Party and the leadership crisis rocking the party. We'll hear what Peter Obi said yesterday, and also hear from the different factions in this imbroglio. Stay with me, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Members of the Labour Party, including its presidential candidate to the just concluded presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, has reaffirmed their solidarity with the leadership of the national chairman, Mr. Julius Abure. The result was highlighted during the party's National Executive Council meeting in Asaba, the Delta State capital, where members dismissed the allegation against the chairman, calling it baseless and an attempt to destabilize the Labour Party. For Mr. Peter Obi, the crisis currently rocking the party is caused by same persons fighting democracy, and no amount of distraction will stop the party from pursuing the right cause. Take a listen to Mr. Peter Obi after that NEC meeting.
It is the same enemies that are fighting us that are fighting the party. It is for us. It's not going to be easy. From day one, I said it's not going to be an easy fight. They're trying to remove all those who have lived off this confusion for years. They're not going to go away laughing. They're going to fight back. It will take time. Whatever happens, we must stay the course because we want to build a new Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where Nigerians will be proud to say they're Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, committed Nigeria. I don't have any dual nationality. So this is my own country. And I've said it that even if there's war outside this country, if I'm outside, I'll come back because it's my country. So I'm committed to it, and I want them to be committed for it. It is those people that are fighting us collectively who win.
There is a man at that meeting also who is not a stranger to party leadership crisis. He's being a national chairman of another political party before he moved to Labour Party. He's a senator-elect under the Labour Party, Senator Victor. Take a listen to his own views about the crisis.
When we saw in the news that our party has been taken over by someone that we do not know very well, we were surprised, particularly as the change in guard was announced to be sequel to an expert order made by an FCT High Court, I immediately knew that the attempt will fail because the courts have no jurisdiction to rule over leadership of political parties. These have been firmly established by the appellate courts in Nigeria, both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court.
So, at that NEC meeting in Asaba, Mr. Lamidi Apapa, you remember him, he was on this program. 5 others have been suspended from the activities of the party. But tonight, if you look at what happened in Imo State, there were 4 different governorship primaries which held. So one is, in fact, lost now, who is the right governorship candidate of Labour Party in Imo State. But let's get all the sides in this matter. The leadership issues rocking the Labour Party. I'm being joined by Mr. Lamidi Apapa, who is a factional acting national chairman of the Labour Party. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
And also virtually, the acting national publicity secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Kennedy Arnold, who also joins us. Thank you so much, Kennedy, for joining us tonight.
Shehu, my friend, you always miss my name. My name is Prince Kennedy Hanotu, Deputy National Secretary of Labour Party and the acting National Youth Leader.
Okay, he's used not publicity. Okay, apologies for that.
Deputy National Secretary, yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly get your reaction. You are being referenced here as one of the enemies of the party. You are being referenced as one of those who are fighting democracy. What's your own reaction to that?
Well, I'm surprised that this statement came out from an experienced politician, an elite, and somebody that's expected to know better. Let me tell you, the other time when I came here, I told you my background as far as the party is concerned. As of today, I'm the oldest in the party in terms of age, in terms of the length of service in the party. For anybody to say that I am not known or that somebody that they don't know, it surprises me a lot. In the sense that, like I said the other time, 2002, when this party was formed in the name of Party for Social Democracy, I was the first chairman of the party in Oyo State. And when it metamorphosed into Labour Party, I was the chairman in Oyo State and was the chairman of the party for 10 years. Not only that, after that period, I became the chairman of the party in the entire Southwest. I was the chairman for 4 years, and the last election, I became the deputy national chairman of the party.
But, I'm
coming to that level.
Just a moment. Is it a crime that they say they don't know you? If someone says you are not known, is that, is it a crime?
Why I say that?
In any case, Mr. Apapa,
yep,
you and 5 others have been suspended at that NEC meeting.
I will go to that level.
No. Because we don't have the time.
Yeah.
You have been suspended from the party. Are you aware?
I was told, but I am not suspended.
You were not at that NEC meeting.
I was not invited. I was not invited.
Maybe because they think that you are not a member of the party.
They think that I was not supposed to be there. I am today, as of today, I am the only legitimate acting chairman of the party.
The NLC has rejected you.
They lack history. It's lack of history.
The NSC president.
Yes.
You saw him at the protest there.
I was told, and I want to tell him this today. When this party was formed, I was the state secretary of NSC in Oyo State. And the day this party was formed, President Chief Emmanuel, he was the president of NSC, and at that meeting, he said, this party must be formed. And he directed that those of us that are from the private sector should take the command of the parties at the state levels. And that gave me that authority to become the first chairman of the party in Oyo State because I'm from Nupeng. And the same office of Nupeng was used as the office of the Party for Social Democracy before it became Labour Party. Who will now say that I'm strange in the party?
All right.
I doubt, and I'm surprised that anybody in this country will say that.
You have been suspended. That's the position.
I said no.
Okay, so you reject it?
Yes.
So
I rejected it.
But on what authority?
On grounds that the man that organized that meeting ought not to have organized that meeting.
Why?
Because the court has asked him not to parade himself as the chairman of the party. And that order has not been vacated.
The NSC president, who is one of the arm of the legs of the Labour Party, constitution of the Labour Party, says you're not recognized.
I am saying this now, openly. He lacks history. You should go and find out the history of the NSC and Labour Party.
Are you recognized by INEC?
Yes.
As at what point?
Well, the moment a letter is being presented to the INEC and it was acknowledged, what else do you want?
All right. Let me bring in Kenneth Aono to here. I'd like you to respond to what has been said. First and foremost, Mr. Apapa has rejected the suspension, and he says that Mr. Julius Abure does not have the grounds to convene a NEC meeting of the party. Please unmute yourself. It looks like you're muted.
Sheldon, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for this opportunity once again. I'm speaking to you from Asaba. Yesterday, the man seated close to you there was suspended alongside 5 other guys. They were suspended for anti-party activities, and it was clearly stated. And for him to be saying he rejecting it, I wonder. Because when he hijacked the party, he said he was not invited to the next meeting. But when he hijacked the party, ask the man seated close to you if he ever sent an invitation to the entire NWC members to attend the meeting where he hijacked the party and distributed position to themselves. That is no. I'm happy that today he's talking about invitation. That means that he was wrong for not inviting the NWC members in the first place before he hijacked the party. Secondly, he said INEC have recognized him. Shehu, it's very simple. We can browse it and check whose name is still on INEC portal. It will sort out this. Thirdly, Shehu, that NLC and TUC stood beside Abure. It's not just because they like Abure. It's because they believe in legitimacy and they believe in legality. This NEC that was convened yesterday was not just planned in 2 days. In fact, for the past 2 weeks that this tussle has been going on, the NEC meeting was never planned in the past 2 weeks. For you to carry out a NEC meeting, you must give at least 21 days notice to INEC. And this letter for convening of this NEC meeting yesterday was sent to INEC in March. It's almost a month that this message was sent to INEC. And the Deputy National Chairman, former Deputy National Chairman seated close to you, thank God he has enumerated various positions he held in the party. But I want you to also ask him what has been his achievement all those years that he swayed and held sway as the party chairman in Oyo, and he became the Deputy National Chairman. It was under his control, leadership as the Deputy National Chairman, that Labour Party failed woefully, never fielded many candidates in the Southwest. And he is the Southwest person that came as the Deputy National Chairman of the party. Ask him his achievement when he was the chairman of the party in Oyo State. Did we produce even a councillor? Ask him. And this is the same man that has come today to take advantage of whatever illicit packaged judgment made by some group of people to fight a personal interest against Abure. And he quickly took over that opportunity, and he's fighting a man that have worked hard to produce over 35 House of Rep members, that have produced 8 senators, have a governor, and so many other governors coming.
Kennedy
and is about to deliver a president to Nigeria.
Yeah, let's take the issue one after the other. First and foremost, on what grounds was the NEC meeting convened? Who convened the meeting? Was it Julius Abure?
Julius Abure was the person that wrote the letter as at last month when these issues has not come up. And in his magnanimity and being a law-abiding citizen, because of respect he has for the judiciary, it was the Deputy National Chairman, Ladi Ilia, that carried out the NEC meeting yesterday. He was the one that officiated in the NEC meeting yesterday. And if you look at some letters that have been going out for the past 2 weeks, it is Ladi Ilia, the Deputy Chairman, that have been signing it, and me, the Deputy National Secretary.
Kennedy, Mr. Abure has recognized the FCT order, court order, asking him to step aside. That is the situation, right?
The situation is not just that Abure recognized the FCT High Court order. The situation is that there is another court order from Benin. That court order in FCT ought not to be. But because Abure is a very gentleman, he's a fine gentleman, and he believes in rule of law, and he's a respecter of the judiciary. And based on that, since there is a speculation going around that there is this court judgment, in order not to cause problem for the party and for himself as a very sacrificial human being, he decided to let his deputy. He has 3 deputies. The man seated close to you was the former deputy chairman was one of them, and we have Ladi Ilia and we have Dr. Lorun Femi. So the same way we have 2 deputy national secretaries. So even if assuming but not conceding, there's an issue with our national chairman, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to come together as a family, as a house, and now think of a way to chart a course for the party, not just to hijack the party. That is the point.
So who is the national chairman of the Labour Party as of today?
Personally, to me, the court have not given any verdict against Abure. The court, there is no court of competent jurisdiction that have said that Abure have committed a particular crime. So, to me, Julius Abure is still the national chairman of the party. And I want you to know this. They said the man seated there have accused Abure that police is looking for him. I'm aware that Julius Abure have gone to police stations, he has gone to Commissioner of Police office, he has gone to IG's office, and he asked them, are they looking for me? And nobody told him that the police is looking for him.
All right,
these are all things that people are concocted and given to the public.
But this impression, Kennedy, just remember, this impression that, because Mr. Peter Obi mentioned it, that inferring that this, Mr. Papa, I assume, is one of those who are fighting democracy. Is there any feeling on your own side, Julius Abure, Peter Obi's side, that there is a sponsored attack on the Labour Party structure? Is that a feeling?
Sure, like the last time I spoke to you, I told you that this is truly a hijack. Because that feeling you are talking about, I won't feel less. I feel the same way too, because if this is a just cause, why are you not inviting, why didn't you invite the larger house? Like what happened yesterday? All the state chairmen were in attendance. All the National Working Committee members were in attendance. You could check the visuals.
All right.
I saw your correspondence.
Yeah. So just a moment, just hold on for me, Kenneth. Let me allow Mr. Papa to respond.
Let me react. Some people lack history. When you refer to my achievements as officers of various offices since I started the party, it was in Oyo State that we first had a state honorable of Labour Party in Nigeria under my leadership. Secondly, it was when I was the chairman of the Southwest that Mimiko joined Labour Party. If you remember the number of senators, reps that we have. So if you don't know all this, you better go back to history. Now let me now also come back to the issue of who is now the chairman of the party. I am not struggling with Abure. I am there in acting capacity. The constitution of the party is so clear on this that for whatever reason, if the chairman is unable to perform his role, the deputy takes over. And that is exactly what has happened. And it's also clear now that you said because Aburi is a respecter of the law of the land, that is why he obeyed the law. Even we don't want to say it openly, he obeyed the law partially by stepping aside. That period of stepping aside means there's a vacuum. And that vacuum must be covered.
Well,
let me see.
The feeling is largely that you are being sponsored to destroy the Labour Party.
It is
Who
not
is
so.
sponsoring you, Mr. Papa?
Nobody is sponsoring me.
Why are you up to this? Because the feeling on the other side, and you need to be able to convince Nigerians and the rest of your Labour Party supporters and the obedience who are the Labour Peter Obi supporters, that you are not orchestrating an evil machination against the party.
At all. Last time when I came here, I told the whole world that if anybody has an evidence to prove that I'm romancing with another party of Labour, that person is free to come forward and tell the whole world.
You need to be able to convince people.
Convince people.
Because you are the one that is, the onus is on you.
I am now saying it now openly, that if you have any evidence to prove, I am available.
Why are you not working with the other side?
I'm working with them. Let me tell you, this one, when he said notice of meeting was not given, the deputy secretary, we have 2 or 3 deputies. He is one of them. The one with me who is also an acting secretary now, he is also a deputy secretary. According to him, because I'm to give directive, do this. And he told me that he sent out messages. But later when he told me that he did not get the message, which means he's one of those...
So let's close because we're out of time now. What is your next line of action now?
Well, I still maintain my position as the acting national chairman of the party.
You need to go to INEC to confirm that because INEC now is the arbiter. But would you be able to reach out to Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Abure so that you can resolve these differences? Are you able to do that?
Well, yeah, I'm able.
Would you do that?
Let me tell you this. I have called His Excellency, but my phone was not picked. I called him.
Let me allow...
my phone was not picked.
So you called Peter Obi, but he did not pick your call?
He did not pick my call.
Mr. Kennedy, I honor to your final thought on the program tonight. We just have about 60 seconds to close.
Shehu, thank you so much. I can assure you that the Labour Party has come to stay. Nigeria have accepted Labour Party. We are one united family. The people that feel they can hijack the party have been laid aside. In fact, they were suspended. They've not been expelled. They were suspended and disciplinary committee have been set up against them. If he said he's giving directive, have we met? We didn't meet as a family before we give somebody an authority to give directive. So he lacks the authority to give any directive, to direct anybody to send a text message. We have never met, as far as I know. Yesterday, the party met. In attendance, we have all the elected members. In attendance, we have TUC, we have NLC, we have INEC.
It does look to me that there is a confusion here. There are 4 different primaries that are held in Imo State. Have you been able to resolve this in all of this confusion?
We have only one primaries in Imo State. The faction of Alamidi Ababa held 2 primaries. And they said the other one was no primary at all because there was no national officer in presence. But they conducted 2 parallel primaries to show you how divided they are.
Because Kennedy, you know what the opposition to your party are saying, that you guys cannot even organize yourself, and you are the kind of people that are looking to control Nigeria. How can Nigerians trust you guys to be able to organize a bigger nation?
We had 1 primary in Imo. They had 2. The factional people, the people that were suspended, had 2 primaries.
All right.
The other one was
nobody has suspended me. I remain the acting chairman of the party.
We had 1 primary
I maintain that.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Kennedy, thank you so much indeed for your time. Mr. Lamidi Abapa.
Thank you,
and I hope that you guys are able to resolve yourself so that you don't keep disappointing your very huge fan base and supporters in the Labour Party. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimale, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. God bless Nigeria.